Alright, starting part 2 here on the Ohio and Erie Canal towpath. From the Canalway Center to Harvard, here's where we left off last time. Or approximately here, maybe a little further, but we're starting it up here and see how it goes. Got a cool lake breeze today, it's really nice. I almost never say that, but when it's been 90 degrees for 3 weeks or close to it, in the 90s and a lot of humidity, it's a nice break. And I'll be glad to get back into the heat again for a while. That's the river down there. That just goes to a fence where they don't want you. Okay. Good. Continue on the towpath here. Yeah, I don't think we've been this far. There's the river. Looking good in the sunshine. See, like I was saying, those really hot days, hey man, up and downhill was like training for a day like this. You could do 2 or 3 miles accidentally on one of those days. You could do 10 on one of these on purpose. Especially there's no real hills. See, what kind of tree is this? Alright, that was a buckeye tree. Now we're twisting further and further away from the water plant and the roads. Yeah, this is getting different again. Is that a beehive or a cocoon up there? Oh, it's just a leaf. Still cool, interesting looking. Let's see if we can get a good view of the river, but I think it's going to be too overgrown. Really cool to be in here at this time of year. Pretty much like the peak vegetation for about another month. If we don't have no cold snaps. Alright, Harvard Avenue, 1.5 miles. So we walked close to 1 mile from the bridge. Again, this is part 2. I'll leave a link to part 1 in the description. If you guys want to check it out. The beginning kind of shows a train on that old trestle. And it's really cool to have actually caught one. Wow, look at the river. The river vanishes and then it comes back out. That could be a beehive. Not touching it. Oh, that's slag. That's there on purpose. Piece of slag from a nearby slag heap. All right. There's the river again. It looks different. Looks more like a swamp. It looks like oil slicks or something on top. Looks yucky. There's an old structure there. I don't know what that is. That may or may not be 49th Street up there, but I think it's private, back of private property. Or access for the wiring. Electricity. That's the Cuyahoga River, believe it or not. You can see some more of what I was talking about back there from here. I'd like to try to get that plane, but the sun is too bright. Guess that's what's the canal now. Not sure. Looking at that sign, this is a different route from the historic towpath. Oh, okay, that's the flood pole I saw on the maps. This is where we have some options to explore some different trails here. We're for sure gonna go check out this flood pole. I didn't come all this way not to. What's up here? Overlook. Alright, we'll check that out in a second. Looks pretty uphill. Yeah, quite a few people down here jogging and on a lot of bikes. More people jogging and stuff today. That's the river, believe it or not. Sure looks different in this area. We're gonna check out the flood pole if we can get to this one. I guess this is so people with binoculars or in the proper vantage point can see how high the water gets when it does flood. Well, we can get about as far as the end of the bridge, it looks like, and then it's all overgrown. Again, this is the Cuyahoga River, believe it or not. Looks more like the canal. Hello. There's the flood pole. It's got markings on it. 23 feet 7 inches is the highest marking on it. Well, we're not going into there, I don't think. Let's see. No, we don't need to go there. Head back out to the towpath. Look at that cool bird on the branch. Just a great evening. I don't know what time it is. I imagine it's probably after 6 now, but I got a little earlier start today. All right, we're going to do a little uphill here. See what this overlook is about. Might be the spot where you stand and look at the flood pole when it's flooded, because this is uphill from. That's not the overlook. Well, this looks like a significant detour, but we'll see how it might be worth it. Pretty steep. I hope it's worth it. Would be cool if it took us back down to the towpath, but I doubt it. I can kind of smell ethanol in this spot. Ethyl alcohol. That looks like an old road. We're here to check out the overlook. Alright, so right down there is where we just were. I'm going to try this way. See the backs of some factories up there. So it's kind of a little loop, take us back to the hard path, back down to the towpath. the overlook was not that thrilling, but I don't wonder what it was if we didn't check it out. Getting really windy. I think there's zero chance of rain. Hopefully the breeze isn't messing up the video too much. You guys can still enjoy it. Okay, again, it's the flood pole that way. The overlook was up that way, and now we're continuing on the towpath. Turn around here. No, that's okay. Turn around when I'm ready. Thanks. Alright, we're at mile... See, so this is mile 6, so I believe we're 6 miles from the lake. I don't know if that's as the crows fly, as the crow flies, or the towpath or the river. I don't know what that means. It's a towpath marker, those mile 6 of the Ohio and Erie Canal towpath. That weird smell is gone. It smelled like gasoline or ethyl alcohol or something. There's a flood pole. The blue thing there. As you can see, it's quite sunny. You can definitely hear these wires sizzling. Hello, dragonfly. He's flying low. He wasn't too far from those wires. Looks like he's just doing circles. All right. Danger, keep off. Yeah, I don't feel like extreme electrocution or falling to my death today, so thanks. Thanks for the tip. Yeah, this takes you way away. Looks like we're like almost headed back south at this point. Yeah, a lot more joggers today, I guess because the weather's more bearable. People in Cleveland, it seems like most people don't like the heat. A lot of us do, but a lot of people don't. Really breezy in this shady area. You can hear all the trees hissing. Access road or something. See, that's all fenced here right at the edge of the towpath here. See, this is more industrial. Probably a factory and refinery properties. Looks like that's a sign over there. Can't see what it says. Huh. Yeah, so I don't know where the river or the canal is anymore. This is a rerouted section of the towpath through here, as we saw in that sign. I was not aware of that till today. It's a cool, quiet area here. Nice breeze through here, shady. These little areas spoil you. Walk back out into the sun, it's like, whew. See less birds and stuff, and more machine noise and whatnot over here. Thanks. Well, let's see what's around the next bend here. If we want to complete this, or if we're going to take drive to Harvard one day and come down that way to where we stop. See, it's not the walk, it's the walk back. I got you guys to keep me company. Hope you're enjoying the video. I'm definitely enjoying the walk. See, I saw this on the map. Now I don't know which one is the towpath. It'll be this one with the stripe painted on it. Let's see if there's anything to see up here. It looks like a loop that'll take us back to the towpath. See what we got back here. There might be something of interest. No, it just ends. Back at the big factories, that's Harvard. Harvard is just beyond those giant buildings. Harvard Avenue. So one dead end. Are we going to check out two? Why not? See if there's anything to see back here. For some reason the path is built. No, it's the same spot behind the factories. This must have just been an old access road that they kept paved for a turnaround spot. Alright, we're gonna find the towpath again yet. How you doing? Hello. Hi. Hello. Is it a long way up to Harvard yet? Or?
No, close.
Okay,
You're very
cool.
close. Yeah.
All right, have a good one.
Yeah.
Nice dog. Cool little corgi. Came up and licked my hand. I love dogs. That tree. That's a big one. Okay. He says it's not too far to Harvard. So we're gonna soldier on here. By the time we get back, it'll be time for a shower and a nap. Also, this camera shuts off after 45 minutes. 3.8 megabytes. And you gotta start another video. That's alright. Nothing new. Like if you dropped me here and I had no idea where on the towpath I was, I wouldn't know where this is where we're at. Okay, this is uphill to Harvard. That's alright, it'll be downhill on the way back. Okay, maybe that's where the other trail would have took us if we'd have stayed on it along this fence line, and there's nothing to see there, so. Now it stinks. Now it smells like you would expect it to down here. Not bad though. Oh, there's the river again. It's big again. All uphill. Alright, looks like we're about to crest the hill. Remnants of some factories over there. So here you see the factories on the other side of the river. Probably long abandoned steel mills and stuff. Nothing to see to the right. We're kind of in a gully, a lot of fencing. So we'll check out the river down there, and if you can see the places across. I see why people like this with the bikes. Cover a lot more ground a lot quicker. It's probably a cool view when everything's not grown in. What's that? What's that thing? Huh. All right, we're making the turn. See the back of one of the giant factories, and you can smell the metal. You can smell the work being done. There's a couple coming up on the path. I'm trying not to film them. Okay, I knew when we saw the back of this giant plant we'd be close to Harvard. Yeah, it smells just like it smells when you drive through. It's probably okay to walk through, but you wouldn't want to be sitting down here breathing this stuff all day. Still the same building. I think that might be Alcoa. It's definitely an operating place. Yeah, it's probably up near the Harvard-Denison Bridge, is like that way. This is all of Alcoa back of it. Alright guys, well, we're approaching 40 minutes. If it gets to the file full size and there's really nothing to see, I'm probably just going to end it there. About another 6 minutes. So we'll see what there is to see where there is to go. Alright, we got some signs here. Signage. Ah, cool, some old equipment. Some kind of press, hydraulic press. (1872) that picture's from. That's where we are, minus most of the smog. moving on. I'm gonna run out of daylight tonight. It's gonna be a haul back to the car, but we're gonna be all right. I got out a little earlier today for a change. Blessed enough to be able to go to Amplify, re-up, some other little minor chores, and here we are. That's finally the end of that building. I don't know, it was probably a half mile long, quarter of a mile long. I should have filmed it the whole way so you guys could have seen how big it was. You get the idea, and you know if you live around here. See, and now it doesn't stink no more. That was just that factory cutting metal or whatever they do there. I guess they make steel. Train going by, or truck. What the heck was that? Kicking up all that nasty dust. Ugh. The shirt's going over the nose. Can you see all that crap? I don't want to breathe that. I don't know what it is. Oh shit. Mile 5. We've come one more mile. Ah man, that shit's all in the air. Can you see it? You can probably see it. It looks almost cloudy here from whatever that guy was hauling. That's not cool. Unless this is just complete smog down here, but it's only in this section. Alright, well, whatever. I'll have to see what road or whatever that guy was on. Right, coming out of this depot. Pretty blue sky. There's a little bit of smoke in the air, I think, but it's awesome.
What's the last thing you ate?
The video is going to end pretty soon, guys. I'm hoping we can make it up to the trailhead by then. We got about 2 minutes left. Alright, here it is. Here's where you park. Here's Harvard. That was about 2.5 miles from the car, maybe a little more with the shortcut, the long cuts we took. I'm going to walk all the way out to Harvard. Try to get a little bit of it on film before the video ends. So if you come down here, this is like, if you go down there, that's the west side.